Kayla Marie Golden, white female, 28, left her pediatrician's office on Murray Park Drive in South Montgomery County with her 3-day-old son, Keegan, after having a checkup. When she put Keegan in her pickup, an altercation erupted with the suspect, who was the occupant of the car parked next to her. The suspect shot Kayla several times, then took the child from the pickup, put him in her car, knocking Kayla to the ground as she left the scene. Witnesses on location called 911 for the sheriff's office and EMS. Upon arrival, officers got a brief description of the suspect and the vehicle, and an attempt to locate was aired. Kayla was transported to a local hospital where she later died. As the investigation continued, Detectives Wood and May, while canvassing the area, drove through the parking lot of the Fun Ridge Apartments on Sawdust Road, spotted a parked vehicle that closely matched the vehicle described by witnesses. It was determined that this was the vehicle involved in the offense. After talking to the residents, it was determined which apartment the suspect lived in. Montgomery County SWAT team made entry into the apartment, didn't find anyone on location. The suspect, Verna McClain, black female, 30, later arrived on location, and during her interview with detectives, information was obtained which led detectives to a residence in Harris County where her sister lived and a possible location of the child. Texas Rangers in Harris County received the information of the suspect's sister and went to that location and recovered little Keegan unharmed. With this information and the evidence obtained at both locations and from the vehicle which supported the arrest of the suspect, that she was taken into custody.
As all of you know, the arrest was made yesterday of Verna McClain. She's currently incarcerated in the Montgomery County Jail, charged with capital murder. She had her very first appearance before a judge this morning, where a judge refused to set bond. She's under no type of suicide watch. She has been placed in a single cell where she is the only occupant. And our investigators hit the ground running this morning, again, interviewing additional witnesses, re-examining evidence, and pressing forward with this. Our detectives, Melanie Wood and Chad May, I believe should be commended for their good basic police work. They ran with their instincts. They started canvassing and looking at the area, parking lots and apartment complexes, and found this vehicle. Without these two detectives' innovative and good police work, we may not be here today. Again, the most important part for our Montgomery County Sheriff's Office and all of our team that work together, including the Department of Public Safety, Texas Rangers, DPS, Constable's Office, all of these agencies came together to make this work yesterday. I believe that the Sheriff's Office finest hour was yesterday. It's to recover a child that has been kidnapped and the mother killed by a stranger with no connection within 5 to 6 hours is as good a police work as you can do. Today, I'm very proud to be part of this Montgomery County Sheriff's Office. That's where our investigation is today. I think of note that you need to pay attention to is that we do not believe that this defendant acted in or with someone else. Originally, we released information that we believe that there was a second suspect that was in the car that was based on witness interviews. As all of you know, witness interviews, witnesses see things from different angles and different perspectives. However, based on the totality of this investigation, the interview with the suspect, examination of evidence, we do believe today that she acted alone. However, let me stress to you that we will not have tunnel vision on this, and the investigators will keep an open mind to ensure that there's not another suspect. But as of today, as of right now, we believe we have the single person responsible for the death of this mother and the kidnapping of her 3-day-old child.
Thank you, Dan. It's always nice to face the media when you have a positive outcome. This is a very tragic event that did have a positive outcome, the recovery of the child. I'm going to be brief in my statements. I think Dan probably touched on the high points. This was a multi-agency investigation involving the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office, the Texas Rangers, the FBI was on location to assist, and the Montgomery County DA's office. I'm going to let Mr. Lakin address you, and then we'll open it up for some question and answers to y'all. But I'd like to stress, like Lieutenant Norris said, this is still a very active and ongoing investigation.
Thank you, Bruce. Good afternoon, everybody. Last night, after obtaining information from the Montgomery County Sheriff's Department, the District Attorney's Office believed that we had enough information to press forward and file charges of capital murder against Verna McClain. Dan had pointed out several of the detectives that made the initial contact with the vehicle, started canvassing the area, but also I don't think it should go unsaid. Detective Schmidt, the gentleman standing behind me, his work obviously was paramount in securing additional information. Montgomery County SWAT was deployed not only in this county but in another county in an effort to bring the child back home safely. The troopers with the Texas Department of Public Safety were there on the scene and were actively assisting. It's nice when you have agencies with several different patches and all the patches are operating under one goal and one focus. And from about 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon to about 10 o'clock last night, that one focus was to bring that child home safe. It was a very emotional event for everybody who was there. As a matter of fact, when they received the call, everybody wanted to know, could the announcement be made to every single officer who was out there? Because there had been many officers who had left the scene and had to go on to other responsibilities, and they needed to know that the child was found safe. So I joined Bruce and Dan and the sheriff, obviously, in commending the officers, the troopers. The Texas Rangers were there on the scene. Obviously, we had an asset from the FBI there as well. The District Attorney's Office is part of our response team. We had 3 separate scenes, and we had prosecutors there on several scenes working on warrants and those types of deals. So, as part of the capital murder charge, we had asked that Ms. McClain be held without bail. The judge has honored that request. Currently, Ms. McClain is in custody and is facing the charges of capital murder. The investigation is continuing. The investigation is ongoing. And many of the questions that we're receiving are somewhat premature, particularly when you think of the fact that the first 5 hours were primarily spent doing what you're supposed to as part of a criminal investigation, but every single resource out there was looking for this child.